Ah, the zebra. The unfortunate creature born into the harshest of environments, and I mean harsh. Imagine being thrust into existence under the unforgiving sun, surrounded by dry grass, dust, and just to spice things up, a never-ending parade of predators lurking around every corner. It's not like a nice, calm, welcome to the world vibe. No, no. This is more like a good luck, kid. You've got 5 minutes before the lion figures out you're not just a patch of grass. And what's the first thing that happens when you're born? You're expected to stand. Immediately. No warm blankets? No cozy little nest? No soothing lullabies? Nope. You're thrown straight into the deep end with a, "Hey, let's see if this tiny wobbly creature can manage to stand up without collapsing like a rag doll in a windstorm." Oh, and standing is just the beginning of the joyride. You're a zebra, which means you're born into an exclusive club of creatures who are really good at blending in with each other. Unfortunately, you don't get a say in this fashion choice. You're born with stripes not because they're fashionable, but because they're helpful. Helpful, that is, unless you happen to be surrounded by hundreds of identical striped babies. Congratulations. Blending in is a little less cute and coordinated, and a lot more. You're just one more zebra in the sea of zebra confusion. So, you managed to get to your feet. Not gracefully, mind you. More like a newborn giraffe who's just learned that walking is harder than it looks. Every step is a struggle. And it's not like there's a soft cushion waiting for you if you fall. Oh no, you get to faceplant into the hard, unforgiving savanna ground. Good times. Now, just when you think you're doing okay, you realize you're not just learning to walk. No, you're learning to survive. In a place where the sun makes you sweat and the predators are just as sweaty, but for a very different reason. And those lovely stripes? Well, they might help you blend in with the herd, but they sure don't stop you from becoming the main course at dinner for any lion who happens to be hungry enough to chase you down. But hey, at least you've got your mom nearby. Maybe she'll protect you, right? Maybe she'll be the ultimate shield from the chaos. Oh, wait. She's probably just standing there like, I did my part. You figure it out. Not that she's a bad mom, she's busy too, trying to stay on her hooves and keep an eye out for predators. But as you wobbly nudge your way to her, she's probably thinking, well, I hope you make it, kid. I've got my own survival to worry about. So there you are, a newborn zebra, struggling to stay upright, blending into a crowd of identical little stripes, and hoping you don't get picked off by something with bigger teeth. But hey, no pressure, right? Just survive until the next awkward stage of your life. Easy peasy. Narrator sarcastic, frustrated. All right. So now you've managed to survive your first few minutes of life without getting devoured by a lion. Congrats. But don't get too comfortable, because the real fun has only just begun. Growing up as a zebra? Oh, it's like a never-ending series of bad decisions and questionable life choices. You've got to keep running. All the time. No breaks. The constant reminder that at any given moment, something is either trying to eat you or is actively plotting your demise. You're not just a zebra. You're basically an all-you-can-eat buffet in a world where the predators are way too enthusiastic about the idea of eating you. But hey, it's totally fine, right? I mean, the fact that every day could be your last is just part of the whole living on the edge vibe, right? So let's talk about those survival instincts, shall we? You're not even a year old yet. And already your life's a constant game of run for your life. You're trying to get the hang of eating grass, maybe making a few friends in the herd, and sudden blam, a cheetah appears, as if by magic. And guess what? That cheetah has one goal. You. It doesn't matter that you've been trying to figure out how to chew without looking like an idiot now, you've got to run. And you better run. Fast. Otherwise, you'll be turned into an appetizer for that cheetah. It's like nature's version of a bad practical joke. Oh, you think you've got this living thing figured out? Well, here's a cheetah who can run 60 miles per hour, just to remind you that, no, you don't. But you're a zebra, so what do? You kick into survival mode. You've got those stripes, remember? They make you blend into the herd, except no one tells you that blending into a crowd of similar-looking creatures only works if you're not the one getting eaten. The second you start running in a panicked, zigzagging fashion, because, apparently, that's what your instincts say to do, You're basically just a confused blur, stumbling around like a toddler on a sugar high. And let's not even talk about those charming moments when you're not running for your life, but you're stuck navigating the awkward stages of growing up. The stage where your legs are too long for your body, and you're basically just a gangly, overgrown foal. It's like puberty, but with hooves. You can't seem to figure out where your legs end and the ground begins, and every step is a small disaster waiting to happen. You're trying to look cool in front of the herd, but every time you attempt to gallop like a pro, you trip over yourself, and now the only thing you're blending in with is a pile of awkwardness. You know, at this point, you'd think the zebras would get it together. But nope, you're still at the mercy of that whole survival of the fittest thing. Every meal feels like an audition for the next animal documentary. And guess what? You're the star. You're constantly being watched, constantly being evaluated for your future as dinner. And hey, remember the lion? Oh, don't worry, he hasn't gone anywhere. Lions have nothing better to do than hang around and make sure you know they're still there, just waiting for their next meal. It's like an ex that never really leaves. They're there in the background, hoping for that one weak moment where you drop your guard and bam, your dinner. Now, let's talk about your parents because this survival gig isn't a solo act. Sure, mom and dad are there, pretending to protect you, but really, all they're doing is making sure they don't get eaten first. I mean, yes, you'll get some awkward nudges and a couple of tips on how to nibble grass properly, but when push comes to shove, they're just as likely to bail as anyone else in the herd. It's every zebra for itself, pal. By now, you've learned the hard way that surviving is like a full-time job. You're constantly on edge, constantly fighting your awkward, gangly limbs, constantly dodging predators, and constantly wondering if your stripes are ever going to stop looking like they're trying to give you a permanent identity crisis. Every time you think you've got it under control, the universe reminds you that the savannah doesn't care if you had a good day. It's always hunting season. Always the perfect time for a predator to remind you who's really in charge around here. So, congrats again, zebra. You've managed to live through another day. Just don't get too cocky, because tomorrow, there's a whole new set of survival challenges waiting for you. Maybe this time you'll be eaten by a hyena, or a lion, or a crocodile. Who knows? The savannah is full of surprises, and they all want to eat you. So, congratulations, you've made it. You're an adult zebra now. All that awkward running, tripping over your own legs, and dodging predators, it's behind you. You're faster, smarter, more confident. And wait, who are we kidding? None of that actually matters. Sure, you're not as wobbly anymore. You can gallop in a straight line without looking like you're about to faceplant into the nearest tree. But now, you get to deal with the real fun of adulthood. The never-ending struggle to survive, but now, with more responsibility. You've got your stripes, lucky you, right? Everyone recognizes you now. You blend in with the herd like an unremarkable QR code. No more worrying about being the next zebra snack. But what do you get in return for all this experience? Oh, nothing too exciting. You just get to spend the rest of your life making sure you're constantly looking over your shoulder. Sure, you're faster than that cheetah, but the predators? They're still faster. And guess what? They've also gotten smarter. So, you're still one bad misstep away from becoming a lion's lunch. Fantastic. Now that you're an adult zebra, you've got a little bit more swagger, right? You're probably thinking, hey, I've survived the worst of it. I know all the tricks to avoid getting eaten. Well, buckle up, champ, because adulthood means you're now playing a whole new game. You've got to deal with the harsh reality of being the one in charge of, well, keeping the younger, more clueless zebras alive. You're the designated adult now, the one everyone looks to when danger strikes. Not that you're that much better at dodging death than anyone else, but hey, someone's got to try to look composed in the face of a crocodile and a hungry lion. And let's talk about herd dynamics because guess what? As an adult, you're not free from the herd drama. Oh no. Now you're dealing with dominance battles, fights for attention, and the constant pressure to be a role model for the little ones who are still bumbling around, trying to figure out how to run like a normal zebra. And don't forget the daily stress of grazing. It's always about grazing. Who gets to eat where and when? Oh, and did I mention that your best friend? Yeah, he's probably already been eaten by a hyena. Just when you think you've got a grip on this survival thing, it all comes crashing down. So, what's next for you? The same thing as always, You'll keep running. You'll keep surviving. You'll dodge death by a whisker, blend into the crowd, and keep pretending you're not constantly looking over your shoulder, even when there's no predator in sight. You'll stand proudly with your herd, patting yourself on the back for making it this far, while secretly hoping you don't end up as lunch for the next carnivore who's feeling hungry. And that's life as a zebra on long, exhausting, never-ending race. So, next time you're out there, munching on your grass, and trying not to think too hard about the fact that your entire existence is a battle for survival, just remember, it doesn't get easier. It just gets, well, a little bit faster. Enjoy the ride, my striped friend. You're not done yet.